If you're looking for a crash cymbal that's dry and dark, but it doesn't sound dead and it's not a one-trick pony, these are the cymbals you need to look at. Hey everyone, in this video we're going to be checking out the Genghis Dual Series crashes from Stagg. Now the Genghis series of cymbals from Stagg are a cast B20 bronze, handmade, hand-hammered cymbal. They are exceptional quality cymbals, but the standard Genghis is kind of aimed more at that 60s Turkish sound. Within the Genghis range, we also have the EXO, which has the unlathed bell and a different hammering pattern, and then we have the Dual Series, which is what we're looking at today. Now the Dual Series has lathed and unlathed portions of the cymbal. Now the bottom of the cymbal is completely lathed, except for the bell. When you have a section of a cymbal that is unlathed, it dampens the tone of the cymbal slightly, so it will reduce a little bit of the sustain, the cymbal won't ring out quite as long, but also generally in the higher frequencies it will be dampened, so it will be less bright sounding. But it's worth mentioning that not only is the bell lathed, and the bell is where most of the high frequencies of a cymbal come from, so this does have high end, but the edge is also lathed. Also, the edge of these cymbals are thinner than the middle of the cymbals. That's important because it makes the cymbal very dynamic. Quite often when you have cymbals that aren't lathed, they can be very, very dead, to the point of like properly dead. You have to really hit them hard to get them to do anything. With the edge of this being thinner, you can play it softly and still get a very musical sound, but you can also then lay into the cymbal a little bit to get it to fully open up and get that nice spread and wash that we want from a crash cymbal. These cymbals are not by any means dead, but they are drier. They have less sustain than a typical crash cymbal, and they do have a slightly reduced top end. Not to say they sound very warm and vintage, they don't. They have a fairly bright tone to them, but because it's a softer kind of attack, it doesn't cut through as much. This actually makes a very modern sounding cymbal that can be used in a ton of different situations. Now the hammering of these cymbals is also really interesting because we have what you would expect to see as standard hammering, but then we also have this much larger, deeper hammering around the cymbal. That makes the overtone of the cymbal a little bit more complex, and it adds a trashiness, but in a very musical way. I genuinely can't remember ever having this much difficulty describing the sound of a cymbal. So let's just hear them. Thanks a lot for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video or found it useful in some way. If you did, please leave me a like because it really does help with the channel. I'm going to be doing videos on the rest of the Genghis dual range as well. You saw the hats in this video, but I've also got a ride and I've got the new splashes as well, which sound amazing. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you see when I upload again. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next one.